Hello and welcome to ZR Chess again. Today I'm going over something fun that I've been wanting to do. I'm going over 3-check. 3-check is a variant of chess, not the regular chess. And if you don't know, 3-check is just a different game. You're playing on a chessboard, but instead of getting checkmate, to win the game, you check the king 3 times. Whoever checks the opposite king 3 times wins. It's that easy, that simple, but there's a lot more to it than that, just like regular chess. So I wanted to go over, I haven't seen much out there on 3-check and how to get better at this, and I want to start putting this out there because there's nothing out there for this. And this is one of my favorite games. I still love playing this, all the time on the side of my studying chess. So I want to go over some key points on how this usually goes down. A lot of times you don't see e4 or I'm sorry. First of all, let's say e4 and d4 are the two main moves for regular chess. And if you know me, then I play d4 all the time. I never play this in 3-check because it gives them such an opportunity. Because you play d3 or d4, and automatically a bishop can come here and get one of the 3 checks out of the way really quick. And we don't want that. We want to keep it limited. So we want to keep these 2 squares by our king pretty locked down. So instead, what we're going to do is either e3 or e4. Personally, I play a lot of e3 just because it stops. If he comes here and tries to attack this square right here, it stops that. So that's why I play e3 a lot. But you can play e4. Just be aware that after something like this, he can check your king, which isn't the end of the world because they have to get 3 checks to win. And that's what a lot of people, when I'm playing this, don't seem to understand. They go for these quick checks, sacrificing a piece, and they can't finish it. One of the biggest things I can tell you here is that when you're playing 3-check, don't try to spread out the checks. You're not going to sacrifice a knight in the beginning and get a check and then play the game normally and then try to get a bishop later and then it's not going to work well for you. I mean, it might work sometimes, but that's not the way to play the game. The way to play the game is you want to line everything up so that when, like in regular chess, when you have an opportunity to check them 3 times in a row, you sacrifice whatever it takes to get there, and you just knock them dead. And that's kind of the way to do it. You don't want to, you'll see a lot of people that are just sacrificing something in the beginning. So, also another key point is this queenside knight is important because, let's say he brings out his knight here. Then we have a move here to b5, or on the opposite side. So and then we can attack here or here, and either would give the king check. So stuff to think about. Often I'll play a game like this, where he comes out and then I've got the bishop already hunting down on this square. Maybe he brings out his bishop to try to do the same, but he can't on that one. Maybe he brings out his knight. I bring out my knight, and in one move, I'm gonna have a check available here and a check available here. So he's gonna need to do something about that. Maybe he brings in the bishop like this. I bring in the queen. I'm threatening checkmate, and because checkmate also wins the game. In case you didn't know, checkmate does win the game also. So he can try to do something funky here, take this, but then I'm going to need a checkmate. And that's not good for him. So he's going to have to protect this piece somehow, maybe with a knight going here. And by this time, I believe the game is already over. It's not, no, but it's close. And that's why we come here with a knight. So coming here with a knight, and now we're threatening mate. We're threatening 3-check, because if he does nothing, then we've got check, and he really can't do much except maybe take, and then we've got check, and wherever he goes, we're going to check, and 3 checks over. I don't have to worry anything about anything else. So so this position already is really bad for black. This right here, we've got the trifecta. We've got this going here. Stop that. We got this going here. We got this going here. And we got this coming in to give a check somehow. So that is a great way to set this up so that you can just swarm the enemy opponent. I want to show you guys a trap. and it starts off with it's as black. This trap is black, and it starts off with e4, and kind of going how we do. Bring the bishop out. Always looking to do this here, and what may happen a lot of times that I've seen, white gets greedy. He wants to get a check early on and knock one of them out because he thinks, I'll get one check done. Now I've only got two to do later. Not the way to do it. But often this happens. I've done this a lot of times where the knight will come down to b5 looking to get a quick check, or maybe even looking to bring a queen in and, I don't know, do something afterwards. But he's going to try to bring this knight here and try to attack. Big mistake because we've already won the game. And I'll show you how. So at this point, the game's already won. Black has won. He has fallen into your trap. It's a quick trap. So now we're going to go ahead and check with the bishop. That's one check. And the king is going to have two options. He can move here or he can take. If he takes, it's really quick and easy. We go queen f6 or h4. Doesn't matter. He's in check. And no matter where he goes, he blocks with a knight. That's check. That's three checks already. And game's over. So what might happen instead is that he'll come here, trying to avoid that, and that's okay. We're still going to wreck him. We'll go to h4, and what's probably going to happen is he's going to try to give us check here. We get check. It's fine. This is just a little setback. It's not going to matter. We go here. He does a second check, and we take. And then we're still winning because we've already had our one check, and we just need two more. So we're still winning here. If he takes back, then it's really easy. We're just going to go check, and then once again, wherever he moves, we can check him. Or sorry. Or if he goes here, we come up here. He doesn't worry about this. He could try to block with the knight and try to do some blocking or something. That's going to be really quick and easy. It's not going to work either with check and check. It's going to be disaster. So it's really funny. In this position, once he's played this, black has already won the game. And it's crazy to see traps like this because, you think about the traps in regular chess and, you don't see... you don't see any new ones because they're all been figured out. But this is a new variant. A lot of people are coming up with new stuff, new theory, and this is one of them. This is I discovered this earlier today, just going through lines, and I love it. This is awesome. So one more thing I want to show you. I played a game of 3-check earlier. I just want to go and analyze it, and I did lose this game. Just FYI. But we'll go through it and see how it goes. So he started off with the knight play, and I did my thing. And then right here, I thought I had it, right? Because this looks very similar to this, but there's one key difference you can tell. In this one, his pawn is still here, and in the one we were looking at. The pawn is out on e4, and during the game it was a speed round. It was 3 minutes, I think, and I wasn't thinking about that. So at this point, I brought it out here, thinking, hey, you know what? I've already won. Let him play his move. But it didn't work out that way because he goes ahead and checks, and then he moves the pawn there. And the pawn there ruined all my plans and crushed my dreams and stole my Christmas. And so at this point, he's got to check in on me, but he is down a knight. Nothing wrong with that for me. And for him, I don't know. Not too keen on doing that, sacrificing knights in the beginning. And I don't think it was a good move for him, even though he did end up winning. So I brought the knight out, trying to get some pieces out in the air. You don't want to try to start checking with two pieces, because then if you end up having to sacrifice those to get checks, then you've got all these pieces back here that can't move, and he's going to rush in and swarm you. So try to develop your pieces as much as you can, like a normal chess game. Try to bring them out and see what you can do. I wouldn't move this, but in general, try to bring your pieces out. You're going to have one bishop probably that's going to be really hard to get out because these two pawns here. You're using this one to hold the king down, and then you're going to want to try to be pushing this one so you can get it out. And inversely on this side, you're going to try to bring that other bishop out. So I brought up the knight here, and my theory was, as I was thinking during the game, he would take here, I would take here, and I've got a nice attack here that he could do little about if I, if he played nothing, then it would be game, because check, 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 check. And that's what I was thinking during the game. But this is blitz. It doesn't always work out that way. So well, first of all, he didn't end up taking it. But I'm looking into this a little deeper, and he could have played the knight here, and oh, you know what? Yeah, I did work this out. If he took it, it was going to be game, except if he goes here. That's right. So after taking here, his only move would have been to come here and protect this pawn. Even then, it could have gone ugly for him after bringing my bishop back, and he could try to block that off. But it would be an interesting game for sure. That would be that would have been me. But there's a lot of different ways I could have gone down. But either way, him taking this pawn here was not the right decision, because there's so many ways I could have won. It was a Trojan horse. So he saw that. He ended up playing king f1. And then at this point, I went ahead and traded off knight for bishop. I did that because he had a light square bishop. My king's on a light square. When I castle, my king's going to be on a light square. So that light square bishop's very dangerous for me. Plus, this bishop, he's got 2 pawns here. He's not getting out anytime soon. So that's why I did that. Sacrificing the knight for the light square bishop, I had no problem with that. Went ahead and did that. He took back with queen. I played b6. I want to bring my bishop out into play. I probably should have just brought it here and went, but he played the knight. I was trying to go fast. I ended up playing rook a5, thinking that I could bring the bishop here, pin the queen, but I realized how stupid that was, just because, d3. So after I played that, I was like, whatever. So he did that, and then I probably should have just finished it, going b7, but I played knight f6, not a bad move. He went ahead and went out with the bishop. He's getting his bishop out as well. I bring this here, threatening to check somewhere eventually. And he moved the king. He moved the king to not get checked. Not a bad move. I should have went ahead and castled here, and definitely should have brought the bishop to b7. And then this bishop needed to come down here or here so we could start attacking the king side, because right here, it's doing squat. It's doing nothing. So I went ahead and pushed the pawn up. My theory would be to push it here and try to get some opening up here of the pawns and get some gameplay in, maybe get my bishop or my rook here on g6 and attack. That's kind of what happened. So he went ahead and took the pawn on g7, and I went here, which was very dangerous for him. If he did end up moving back at all, it would have been game, because after check, I only needed 2 checks at this point, I believe. Check, and then he takes, and then, check. So, very dangerous for him. And at this point, he didn't do that. He went ahead and brought it back, all the way back. You know what? I don't think I had any checks left. No, I had not checked him at all yet, and that's why this was dangerous. Because if I did take check, I couldn't just go here and throw away my queen. I didn't want to, at least. And with my rook being all the way over here, it's doing absolutely nothing. I could bring it here. I guess I could have brought a knight here. I don't know. It's going to take some more studying on that. I just played this game maybe 20 minutes ago. I apologize. So anyway, he did that, and then I brought my bishop down, trying to attack this square here, maybe get 2 checks in, and a third with a rook. He went ahead and did that, which is a decent move. I took the pawn here, thinking that it would open things up for me, and I could make something work out of it, I guess. It was a speed-paced decision. I think I had 10 seconds left in the game, and poor judgment made this blunder. I should have come maybe here to try to go here. If he traded me, that'd be fine. Or what I really should have done is probably brought this pawn here, attacking this whole structure. And if he did, maybe this first to trade off the rooks, and then doing the structure attack, and that might have broke me through pretty easily. So I went ahead and traded there, and I brought up And then he's attacking me. I took the free bishop. And I brought this out. Great attack on the rook, but at the same time, this bishop is really active. I don't want to trade it for this rook. That's not going to do anything for the rest of the game. So he brings the knight up anyway, and I attack the rook. He comes and defends it. Still got a really good defense here. Bringing this here, trying to maybe break through, get a check, because check 1, check 2, and then somehow, check 3 would be victorious. So he didn't allow that. He went ahead and took there. I think what I should have done is taken this knight. That probably would have been the best move, but obviously I didn't do that. So went here, planning to maybe get some checks in. This isn't a great move, even though I've got my bishop backing it. There's not much I can do. I could check here. That would be an incredible move, but turned out to be a blunder because this is checkmate. And I guess he could have done this immediately right here, yeah, since he moved that knight. You know what? He could have done it here, it looks like. No, he couldn't because the rook couldn't come over like before. So that must have been his plan all along. Very smart playing. And as soon as I blunder here, he checks me with the queen. I have to move, and he checks me. And that's 3 checks right there. And if I would have tried to run somewhere, that's a 3 check right there. So I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I do. This is so much fun coming up with new lines, new traps, and trying to figure out a new form of chess. I'm loving this, and I love how much brain power and thought and creativity goes into it. I'm going to keep doing this on the side. I know most of you just want to see regular chess, and that's fine. This is just something I'm passionate about on the side, so I wanted to show you guys this. Let me know if you want to see more. Let me know what you guys' thoughts are. So subscribe to the video if you want, and I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.